Right now at noon, a deputy forced to break a car window in order to save a toddler locked in a hot car. The rescue all caught on camera. Plus, a major boost for Intel after President Trump announced a new partnership with Apple. The details behind the agreement. And another In-N-Out opening in the metro area, this time in Washington County, where you can get your hands on some fries animal style this afternoon. And taking a live look from our Rose City Skycam, where it's setting up to be an absolutely perfect day across the region. Thanks so much for joining us here at noon. I'm Tim Gordon. And while today looks really nice, we have our eyes on a fire weather watch issued for Southern Oregon tomorrow. Meteorologist Rod Hill is up on the weather deck tracking the latest. Hey, Rod.
Hi, Tim. You know, we spent a lot of time showing you wildfire weather this week with so many, thankfully, smaller blazes generally burning across our state. Of course, today is dry. We're up here in the weather deck, brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. By the way, the visibility is good. I can see Rainier just off of the edge of Mount St. Helens as I look to the north. We do have increasing clouds coming up from the south. We'll get into today's weather shortly, but let's jump to tomorrow and show you that warning area, the fire weather watch area. You see a combination of red and also of tan colors. All of these are varying weather watches, mainly for tomorrow, from about Klamath Falls, Lakeview, and extending up into Burns. Again, notice this is the southern portion of our state. This area tomorrow is in the convective outlook region from the National Weather Service for potential lightning. You can see the disturbance mainly offshore from Medford today, throwing some cloudiness up our way, but by tomorrow, there you can see in green that convective outlook for possible thunderstorm activity that does extend northward almost up into the Bend area, but it looks like the most likely shower and lightning activity, this is tomorrow morning, will be across the southern portion of the state. Now notice this is later in the afternoon tomorrow. There's just not a whole lot of rain action expected, and that is really the chief concern, the fact that we could have lightning with very limited rain tomorrow, and of course that would lead to the potential fire starts. So we'll keep an eye on that. Tim, there's your noon temperature, sir, 71 degrees. Today's forecast is calling for warming numbers back up into the 80s. Your complete 7-day is coming up. Back to you.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Rod. Well, tonight, a chance to remember. The city of St. Helens will hold a candlelight vigil and concert to honor City Administrator John Walsh, who fell into the Columbia River on June 13th and never resurfaced. The vigil will take place tonight in Columbia View Park on the St. Helens waterfront. John's favorite 13 Nights band, Bon Bon Vivant, will begin their concert at 5 p.m. with a dedication to Walsh before the music starts. John and his family were regular attendees to the 13 Nights concert series there in St. Helens. Flowers and a photo of John will be placed in their regular attendance spot to pay tribute. The event will end with a candlelight vigil at 8:30 tonight, along with a moment of silence. Meanwhile, in Clark County, dramatic new body camera video from the sheriff's office shows a deputy taking action to save a toddler authorities say was left in a hot car. The toddler is okay, and now both parents are facing charges. This was last month when temperatures reached 92 degrees. Deputies say the child was left in the car with the windows barely cracked. Witnesses called 911, and when a deputy arrived, he broke that window.
Let's do code 3. This kid's like not responding. He's super sweaty.
Now, investigators determined the 2-year-old had spent about 16 minutes inside the car while the parents went grocery shopping. Both parents are charged with reckless endangerment. Well, cuts are coming to the Portland Police Bureau after City Council officially passed the city's new budget that includes the vast majority of the cuts. Now a group of 5 counselors will make a last-minute push to restore some of those cuts. The proposal would bring back 12 public safety support specialists, restore round-the-clock staffing for 3 Portland fire and rescue vehicles, add parks maintenance workers, and preserve other frontline services. The ordinance would need council approval and is being paid for with a one-time funding sources. Council formally signed off on the $8.5 billion budget last night. Councilors previously reversed some of the public safety cuts that were part of the mayor's original proposal. Meanwhile, Portland police are boosting their ranks. This morning, the Bureau swore in 16 new officers in what they say is one of its larger hiring classes in recent years. After the ceremony, Chief Bob Day said the new recruits come as the department faces substantial cuts from the newly adopted city budget.
What disappoints me is I know that it is going to be at a lesser level. And we were already well documented being behind the curve on being properly staffed and properly resourced. And unfortunately, given the circumstances that we're in, we're now going to be a little bit more behind.
And Chief Day says despite the cuts, the department was able to keep 7 administrative positions and help provide community services. Well, new at noon, shares of Intel are jumping after President Trump says the company is partnering with Apple to manufacture some of its chips in the United States. The president made the announcement in a post on Truth Social. Last month, the Wall Street Journal reported the companies had reached a preliminary deal for Intel to make chips for Apple devices. The U.S. government took a 10% stake in Intel last year. Well, happening today, if you're driving through Hillsborough, you may notice a long line at one particular fast food chain. In-N-Out Burger officially opened its doors this morning, with fans waiting hours to be among the first customers. Our Corey Johnson has more from Hillsborough, where some people camped out overnight for burgers.
Well, the excitement is definitely real here in Hillsborough for the grand opening of the In-N-Out location, and so many people lined up early last night in order to be here, some of the first in line. I'm here with Sean and Gus, one of the first as well. Can you talk about the excitement?
Oh yeah, it's been great. We got here last night and we were just super excited. We kind of spontaneous moment thing, you know. We just grabbed some sleeping bags, some sleeping pads, and camped out under a table over there, and it was great.
Nice. What time did you get here?
Around 9:30 last night, so yeah, we were pretty early. But
Were you shocked that so many people were here so soon?
yeah, I mean, honestly, it's quality you can taste, so you know we're loving it. So,
And speaking of quality, I was going to ask you guys, was this the first time trying In-N-Out? But you don't sound like you're new to it.
no, yeah, we've been in other places for sure. Yeah, that's why we were so excited about this being here, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I go to college in Utah, and they have a bunch over there, so not my first time, but first time here.
Are you excited to see In-N-Out really expanding? I mean, this is one of several locations opened recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, traffic is definitely going to get a little worse, but it's because it's such a great place. So yeah.
And it's just so exciting to have one so close to home, so instead of having to drive 2 hours away to Kaiser.
And so what are you going to order? I got to know.
Double, classic.
Give me a double any day.
Nice.
Milkshake, yeah.
Nice.
Milkshake.
And it was worth it waiting this long?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, the ins and outs of everything was great.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Sean. Gus, enjoy your meal. Some of the first people in line out here for the grand opening did receive some special gifts, including a coin and a gift card, and they're expecting the lines to stay packed throughout the entire day. Back to you.
Here's a look at some national headlines this afternoon. President Donald Trump and the president of Iran have signed an initial peace deal that could end the war with Iran. While the details are limited, it appears to offer Tehran several benefits up front with little in return. The agreement will reopen the Strait of Hormuz without tolls and lift a blockade on Iranian ports. A senior U.S. official tells NBC News Iran agrees to never produce or procure a nuclear weapon. Vice President J.D. Vance says the U.S. is pushing to make the terms public, but the deal has also been criticized by some, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who says there are no guarantees regarding nuclear agreements. He also predicts gas prices will remain high for some time.
To tell the American people what's in this deal.
This will be regarded as one of the biggest American disasters, and it's because Trump started this war. He didn't know how to finish it.
Iran is also demanding the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah stop and that Israel withdraw from Lebanon. Israel has already rejected that condition. Well, a critical warning for parents who use infant formula from Nara Organics. The FDA and health officials are urging families to stop using the powdered formula immediately after it was linked to 3 cases of infant botulism nationwide, including 1 case in Washington. The cases were traced to formula purchased at Target. Parents are being told to watch for symptoms such as trouble swallowing or breathing, changes in feeding habits, or weakness. Nara Organics issued a voluntary recall after a 3rd confirmed case was reported. Well, a major celebration is underway in the Big Apple this afternoon as fans come together in celebration of the New York Knicks, the team winning the NBA Finals in just 5 games, marking the first championship for the team since 1973. ABC spoke with Knicks guard Jose Alvarado about the big parade up the Canyon of Heroes, highlighting the greatest comeback in history in Game 4. As Coach Mike Brown says, Alvarado was the catalyst for the comeback. Well, a major milestone in Chicago today as a dedication ceremony takes place for the Obama Presidential Center. The museum honoring the former president and first lady has been in the works for over a decade. NBC's Lexi Suter joins us from Chicago with a closer look.
The 8th-floor, $850 million Obama Presidential Center is a living museum on the south side of Chicago. Designed to be different than a traditional presidential library, this space goes beyond archives and artifacts.
For us to be able to situate all those lessons learned, all the values that we tried to project and embody during the 8 years we were in office together, for us to be able to give that to this community is really important to us.
Here you can see an exact replica of the Oval Office, styled just as Obama had it during his 2 terms. There's also a basketball court, vegetable garden, public library, and auditorium, along with exhibits highlighting the president's accomplishments and even controversies.
I think we tell the story as honestly and truthfully as we can, and we tell it not just through the eyes of President Obama, but through the countless ordinary people who worked to get what we did get done accomplished.
A presidential center centered in community, one that honors the Obama story while encouraging visitors to shape their own.
I think for everyone, what we hope is that they won't just learn about his presidency and the people upon whose shoulders he and Michelle Obama stand, but importantly, they'll leave inspired to do a little something different in their own lives.
In Chicago, Lexi Suter, NBC News.